especially in these hard times. And excuse me, where are my manners? I really hope that everyone out there is safe and they're staying healthy and they're really trying to limit limit how much anxiety they're going through right now. I know it's hard, but we will make it through. And yeah. So first of all, what is addiction? Really, something that's often called substance abuse. Anyone who is dependent on drugs and alcoholism and alcohol, um, that is really a complex problem because people with these disorders were once thought to have like a character defect or like a moral weakness, which is really not true in the stance of their character. But what it is that throughout modern times, and scientists and researchers have really found out that addiction and substance abuse disorders or long-term illnesses like asthma, that you know most people drink little, and but there are some that drink a lot and they cannot stop drinking, or once they've crossed that threshold of drinking, they now indulge in drugs or anything else. So this is where um, people develop a substance use disorder, and it can be very compulsive and it can be very dangerous. There's also an option for both of them. So really, how do you know if you have an addiction? Why some people have it and some people don't. So, you know, personally, me, I like to think about it like this. If you are a casual drinker and an infrequent drinker, which means you um, drink socially and you have the occasional one or two beers when you go out and holiday parties and all that good stuff, then you are a far cry from that. But if you find yourself needing to go and take a drink after everything in life, whether it's a celebration or disappointment, really it doesn't matter. If you find yourself um, wanting to break out of your skin or make some noise if you haven't drank, then you might find it might be highly possible that you do have a substance use disorder. And the same thing goes with drugs. So the if you find yourself really going out there scoring, and the term scoring or planning for drugs, planning for alcohol, all these terms are the same, but we really want to stay away from behaviors like that, because that's when you're starting to have a problem and you're starting to become dependent on drugs and alcohol, where everything in your life really becomes focused around that, and you're spending every waking moment of your day thinking about how you're getting that certain drug or alcohol. And once you have it, you're thinking about getting more. Now, that may rise, gradually build in time, but in the beginning, you will feel the the need to go do that. So some treatment options are ones that are very notable. So we actually have in the United States a plethora of um, treatment homes. People tend to go to uh, facilities where they it's really orchestrated and facilitated by the medical side of the entire healthcare and provider professions. While on the other side, we have self-help groups like NA and NAA, which these groups really focus on the individual, and the belief that with the power of the group, and in some talks and in some really small sects of those AA groups, the power of a higher power or anything of the sort that elevates the individual's self worth and self kind of esteem, they will be able to from the chains and break from the bondage and start building esteemable acts. Once esteemable acts are built, then we can start building new memories and, you know, feelings and emotions and thought processes based on those actions rather than the previous actions, which were buried and instilled in drinking and using, which most cases leads to denial, leads to regret, leads to feeling bad about yourself. So the process, and actually both of those cases, because while you're in treatment in these facilities, they do take some elements of the AA and NA groups, and they introduce that to anyone who's really there. And no matter how severe, quote unquote, severe the case is for the individual that's there, you know, the treatment is really it's really good and it's really helpful because, you know, there's one thing that we know is that we can measure pain, but we really can't measure suffering. So that is something that every single person goes through, and they would have to explain and justify to themselves and internally kind of wrestle with that. At here at Makin Wellness, we are pretty well rounded with the kind of counselors and healthcare providers that are dedicated to helping anyone who has a physical dependence or is through new withdrawal symptoms, really anything surrounding substance use disorders. And there is definitely something that can be said about a practice in Pittsburgh that's really as dedicated to the clients and the clientele base and really the community as we are right now, really, and especially in this moment where we are actually forced to stay inside. Not forced, we were advised to stay inside because of the social distancing and really being healthy. There, one can get a little antsy, a little anxious, especially if you're in recovery. Um, if you haven't had the chance to go visit or attend your regular meetings, so we encourage you actually to call us and talk to us and really get back in the drive of caring about your recovery and putting that first because we do still need each and every one of us to be responsible for each other, and right here in Making Wellness, that's what we strive to do. So love to see all the comments that you guys have, and please give us a call and talk to you guys soon. Bye.